What up, y'all? This is Roderick Lawrence. I am here in San Jose on this Sunday morning, and y'all are listening to Black Men Sunday.
It's a Black Man Sunday. Time to put all childish things away. I refuse to be the man I was yesterday. Gotta put my best foot forward and elevate.
What's going on, everybody? This is Black Men Sundays. I'm your host, Corie Murray, and we're talking about generational wealth. We're talking about finance. We're talking about business. And today we're talking about mental health. And today we have Roderick Lawrence. This brother's an award-winning actor. This brother's a producer. You know, we Black Men Sundays. This brother's a co-founder of Black Man Films. We're going to find out what that's all about. This brother's from Cleveland. This brother lives in Harlem. This brother was the voice of Simba on Disney's Lion King national tour. This brother has Oscar qualifying films. I'm talking Silent Partner. I'm talking Speak Up Brother. And currently, this brother plays Ike Turner on the Broadway musical, the Tina Turner musical. So without further ado, Roderick Lawrence, welcome to Black Men Sundays, brother. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm blessed. I appreciate you having me, dog.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I definitely want to get started. You know, our show is about generational wealth, finance, and business. And we're going to tackle that mental health today as well.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of warm it up a little bit. I ain't gonna come out the gates and bite you right now. So off top, let's talk business first, though. You're the co-founder of Black Man Films. What was the impetus of creating that?
Man, Black Man Films actually came out of the project came before the company did. You know, I had the idea for Silent Partner during COVID. It was a COVID baby. You know, I was doing a play and that was canceled. I was supposed to do another show and that was canceled, obviously, you know. And I was kind of going on my own mental health journey and just discovering what that means for us. And I stumbled upon microaggressions and the effects on like Black male mental health in our everyday life, and like how many spaces and places I was dealing with microaggressions and that somehow turned us into this like blown up angry Black man, you know, and just what that means. So I had this idea for a film. You know, I called my producing partner Selma and my co-founder at Black Man Films, and she was all about the film. And then, you know, she came to me and was like, have you ever thought about a production company? Have you ever thought about having one? You know, making this film and going concern, because the film did really well and people liked the movement that I kind of put behind it, of, you know, making sure that we represented Black voices in a way that I didn't think we were represented in good cinema and in good theater and in good things, you know. Like, we are represented. We do have things out there now, but I don't think they represent us in the way that I don't think all of them do, you know. So we have this mission, and she asked me if I did have a production company, what would that be? And the first thing that came to my mind was Black Man Films, and the company name happened to be available, and we got the LLC, and now we're, you know, our second film just premiered, Speak Up Brother, as you said, and we're doing a feature of Silent Partner. December.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk some money real quick. You know, like, as I said, you're the co-founder of Black Man Films, just Black Man Sundays. I kind of like how that sounds. That kind of sounds good together. But from a financial, no doubt, man. And you live in Harlem too, but you in Cali right now. So hey, let's go. Sir. But my next question for you though is, you know, when we're talking about being business owners, getting your LLC, what type of finance, like what type of money did you put down to really make this come to fruition?
I mean, you know, it really for me, it was about because I was blessed, you know, with that vision, with this vision. It was more about finding folk to support the vision, you know, finding folk because I had to do, it wasn't like a grassroots, I'm going to make a couple of phones on my iPhone type thing. It was like, if I'm going to do this, then it needs to be better than everything I've seen, you know, everything I think I've seen, everything I've put together, you know. So that's finding funds that I could not have put up, you know, personally. And, you know, really finding people who believed in my vision that then put up, you know, our first film during the pandemic, we shot for 50 grand, you know. It was cool that we raised 50 grand in a couple months during a global pandemic. And I got to hire, you know, 30 Black artists, you know, and give them a job during that. Our second film shot for 75 grand, Speak Up Brother. And these are both shorts. And our feature that we're doing in December is shooting for $1.5 million. And that is just like the progression of like manifesting this vision and making sure that I really represented us. And my last set was like every department head on my last set was a Black woman. Every department head that we had. I talked a certain talk, and I was adamant and diligent about walking it in that way. And people saw the product, and also so not just the talk of the vision, and not just the talk of like an all Black crew can do this, and not just talk of all those things. And it just, it brought more supporters, and now we have investors. Instead of people who were donating before, it was donations. It was you were donating to the cause of the vision that like you think this thing is gonna pull up, because the money is out there. These folks have the money. That's the thing. Black folks have the money. White folks definitely have the money, but I was looking specifically at certain people. But the money is there. It's just about the clear vision and making sure that it's actually as good as you say it is. Not just accountability on that is everything. But yeah, I've been blessed to have Selma, my producing partner. She went to Harvard, Stanford, and MIT. She's very tapped in with some of the most brilliant, wealthy people in the world, and who normally don't get into things like what I'm doing, but that, some of those folks believed in the vision. Black folks, brilliant, So yeah, I was blessed to kind of stay diligent in my vision and what I thought I could make happen for us as a collective, and fortunate that people have poured into that.
I have a cousin that's an actor. Like I remember when I was 10, 11, 12, I go to New York for the summer. He would have me memorizing some lines. I would help him out, and then I actually was in a play with him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, and as I was researching you, I realized I was like, man, your brother's a doctor, your sister's an engineer.
Yeah.
So as an actor, like when we talk about family support, because I feel like a lot of brothers and sisters these days, the family's like, okay,
100%.
Yeah. So talk about how important was your family support?
Yeah. So I mean, all right. So there's two sides of that. There's my family. My family is I'm blessed to have a super supportive family. Very, very like hard pressed family on like being great and on being the best of what you do, but very supportive nonetheless. That being said, Black folks have not been afforded the same luxury as white folks in things like generational wealth and in things like deep college family histories and all of these things. So when Black folks spend all this money on their kids to go to these decent schools and their kids to go to college, and kids to do all this shit, they don't want to hear about being an actor. They don't want to hear about you putting your ball dreams. They don't want to hear about like, these things that like these white kids get to explore because they have the luxury of it not being end all be all. Like it not being their last coin that put them through college. It not being, all of these types of things. So the support in our community is out of the lack of support in families in our community is out of just like what you've been seen, what you've been shown, what you see and what and how hard some of our parents and some of our people's work to get out of that space. That being said, my family is super supportive, and I played football all through middle school, high school, everything. I grew up doing that, and then got into singing and songwriting, playing guitar, and then got into acting. Once I decided I wanted to go to school for acting, my dad was like, "You can pick, the top 5 schools in the country for what you want to do, and you can audition at 5 of them because we're not going to pay for you to audition at 100 of them, and you don't need to audition at 100 of them anyway. There's like you can pick 5 that you want to audition at, and if you get in, then cool, and if you don't, then we'll figure something else out." And I was fortunate to get into a few of those. So like I went to school for music theater, and I got my, and I did my thing, and the training really helped. But I'm super blessed that both of my parents have been my biggest fans.
Yeah, definitely. And I see, you play Ike Turner. Now, one thing I noticed when I'm researching you, when I'm looking at Silent Partner, Speak Up, Brother, I was kind of shy as a kid, believe it. I'm kind of like loud now, though. But we know, Speak Up, Brother. And I see you play Ike Turner on the Broadway musical, the Tina Turner musical.
Yes,
but
sir.
I noticed that all the characters have from microaggressions, anxiety, and that leads to mental health. It's Black Men Sundays. You can't achieve generational wealth if your health not on point. And I see that, you also had your own mental health journey. So just talk about that.
Still am very much going through that mental health journey every day. I'm actually like in the process of looking for another therapist now. But those are the roles that like we highlight now and the things that are going on. But like at the beginning of my career, like there was a point where I did decide like, oh, I wanted to be specific about like what I like, how I want to use my gift and where I want to move, how I want to move, because I believe that I can. I believed that I could turn down things that like people told me that I needed, and then I probably could have used the coin for to be specific about my path and my journey. And right now, I'm fortunate that that's starting to come to fruition. But I mean, these old everything from Ike to Floyd in Seven Guitars to like all of August Wilson's characters that I'm too young to play, to Troy and all those other but like all of these are like generationally like cursed, broken black men, like black by America, like by this, by and like to dive into a tough or like a terrible time in their life into the brokenness without telling the precursor to it, or without like dealing it with the history or the origin story of it is crazy to me. So I just like, I think that like if it's other than August Wilson, a lot of our characters, these broken black men get put in these stories just to be these villains, like just to be these like broken, like and that's just not how that happened. I mean, Ike is a prime like I did what he did. I did the terrible things that Ike did are true. And that's just, there's no way around that. That being said, I created rock and roll. I created America's only creation. Like I created the only thing that this country can actually, these people can actually claim Ike Turner created, and it was stolen from him by these people. He was raped and pillaged by these people from everything that he created, and then he turned to drugs and turned into this terrible, like overprotective bastard. This different demon, and it doesn't excuse the things that you do, but at the same time, it's still like the origin story of these men is I'm like, I promise you wouldn't have come out better than he did. And a lot of these people don't, they like, you didn't create rock and roll, you don't know what that is. Viola Davis, when she won her Oscar for Fences, I'll never forget. She got up and she was like, Troy was my father. She was like, I love Troy. Troy is like, Troy does some bad things in this in the story, but he is really just broken and tattered down by his life and by the system and by his experiences. It does not make any excuse for the fact that like a lot of these broken men turned to take hold of the only thing they thought they had control over, which was their house, and which came down on our black women, which is just the opposite way to deal with any of this. But these brothers had no other tools, no other, anything else. And it's unfortunate the way that happened. But I think, our responsibility is just to talk about these stories, to tell them authentically and truthfully, and to grow and to learn from so that's how you break generational curses. That's how you break those things. But I do dive deep into trying to it's not hard to have to understand these people, because we're going through the same shit. I mean, we're not at the level that they, but it's all sick. It's all the same things that we're dealing with. So it's not hard to understand, but sometimes it's hard to just go to the extremes of like, man, how did you get here? So,
Yeah, definitely. Because one thing, when I was researching you, I didn't realize Jimi Hendrix played backup guitar for Ike. I was like,
oh man,
what?
Jimi Hendrix, and that was wild. Like I did crazy Ike research, man. Jimmy played for Ike, and like Ike. It's so funny because everybody who knew him before, they all talk about how like Ike would be the person to kick you out of the band smoking weed. Like if you were 5 minutes late, like if you were any of these things, and then turned into this crazy cokehead that was beating, one of our most talented queens of all time, So it's just the drastic change in it. But there's lots of story there. There's lots of there are a lot of people who do know who that man was before and who do speak about it, But the truth is like Tina Turner's like triumphant story is the best thing that yes, the amazing inspirational story that we get out of that for Black people, for women, for everybody, which is amazing. But it turns like everything, because from the generations of being removed, most of us knew it from What's Love Got to Do with It. So then like we didn't really grow up with Ike and Tina, but we grew up with that and Tina's music. And then Ike became a character of Woman Beaters for our growing up. And then, and then it just becomes further and further removed from like, oh no, he was the king of rock and roll. So it just yeah, it's a blessing and a curse to dive into those stories. But it's amazing to like learn our pitfalls, and our triggers, the same type things. Even if my trigger doesn't get me to the same extreme that some of these brothers were going, I still have similar triggers and like I've gone through similar things. And like so it's just clocking those things and like you keep saying, breaking these generational curses.
Definitely. All right, I'm gonna open the stage up. I got my man Kalali. I got his brother on here. His brother's an actor too. So y'all go ahead, do your thing before we get this brother out of here.
All right, brother Roderick. This is Kalali. Just first of all, I want to thank you for taking your time out just to come visit us and share some knowledge with us.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. It's always good to connect with brothers for things, man. So definitely. I might ask you a question real quick, and then space. So you spoke earlier about about your I think it's your production manager or your production partner having connections in terms of like Ivy League connections and different connections.
Yeah.
So I just like to ask you, what is the importance of being able to network in those areas?
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you the like existential weird like artist answer to this, and I know it's probably not like exactly what this is, what you wanted, but
Do you
I
think,
truly believe I truly believe in the strength and power like of your vision and like the macro scale of using your gift, of like whatever your gift is. I found out what my gift was, which is actually acting and storytelling, but like on a macro, I found a way to use something that God gave me to help all of us. And this vision, like I was just unwavering. I really was like, I'm gonna do. There was no, there was a white lady who offered me 15 grand that went in a 10-minute conversation because the lady who I had done a play with introduced me to her, and we're sitting at this dinner that's like for me, and she's like, I was like, I need 20 grand. She's like, I'll get 20 grand, blah, blah, whatever. She started to tell me about how I needed a good white character in the film, and how like this changed whatever else, and I told her in lesser words to kick rocks. It really is about like when that vision and that purpose is clear. It's clear. You don't have to package it to find money. Like you don't have to code switch it to make it appealing to someone else. Like this is what I've learned through this process. So like, Selma she would bring, a black CFO of a Fortune 500 to me. And I would be like, I'm gonna talk my shit. I would be like, I'm gonna be like, I would be like, I hope you understand that I'm about to be me. Like he's about to get the whole rundown of the project, of me, of how I want it to be all black heads of everything. White people can help us with money. I don't need your creative solution. I don't need your input. But like, if you want to be a supporter of the vision, I'm going to talk my stuff. And like more often than not, the vision was heard and the vision was received and felt authentically. And then I had to back it up, and then I had to back it up. I think that being realistic I'm not realistic at all about like anything. I dream like my mind and my dreams. I'm not. I'll tell you that. So like it's off the wall. But being realistic about where your vision is and where your dream is at that time and what you can accomplish at that time that's going to progress to the next thing. Like I wasn't like I'm gonna make a $2 million feature 3 years ago when I had never made a movie and I had only acted. I made a $50,000 short though, and it went really, really well. And then I made a $75,000 short that's now turned into a $100,000 short that's done even better. And now I'm making a $2 million feature, all based on that vision, on that whatever else. I think like authenticity and clarity, is everything. You don't have You don't have to code switch your package or your dream or your vision, you know, to make it palpable to these people. But you do, if you think that like you might not come off in a certain way, which sometimes I did, then it is great to have somebody who's great at the shit that you're not great. To always get like I'm very aware at where my strengths are and where my weaknesses are, you know, and some of those weaknesses I don't even work on. I'm just like I'm not good at that stuff. So again, so like, but I partner myself with people who are brilliant at things that I'm not brilliant at, you know, and that teamwork and that you know, taking down that vision together makes it a lot easier, as opposed to thinking, how do I take myself and make myself this like Shark Tank? Okay. You know, how do I pitch my, you know, I think that that's my 2 cents of it, you know.
Nah, that's what's up. I mean, you dropped a gem. Shoot, we gonna take that for our show. Authenticity and clarity in your vision will get you a long way. I know we got a couple minutes. So I want to toss. I got my brother Yao on. He's also an actor. If you want to get on, ask any questions, I will ask a question. We got time for about one more question. I'll let you go ahead and do that, man. Once again, appreciate you taking the time out, man.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Roderick? Thank y'all for having me. What's up? Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, or when we were before recording, that, you know, it was kind of wild that we actually met each other. I can't even remember how long ago this was, maybe 2 years ago.
It was right after the, so you saw me and stuff.
That's Seven Guitars. Yeah, at Arena Stage Company.
Love it.
Lady Dane over there, all of that, and
oh yeah, those are my peoples, man.
Yeah. We briefly spoke afterwards, just connect. I think we connected on social media or something like that. But no, I mean, in terms of what you're saying, you know, I think is really important, and I think that overarchingly what I'm getting from what you're saying is that really it's about doing. It's about being yourself in this game and in life, figuring out what your gifts are, what your talents are, and putting it towards something that you truly believe in, regardless of whatever background you might come from. Given that we're Black people, Black men, speaking towards Black men, speaking sometimes in what needs to be for me is that balance. Like you talked about Troy, you talked about Ike. Some of these characters, you know, I've played George Armstrong in Lynn Nottage's Intimate Apparel, and that might be something coming along the rise yet again. So I completely understand the idea of playing a character that could appear to be the villain of the story, or could appear to be a negative character given his background. And sometimes when you do roles like that for the audiences that we perform them for, that can give you somewhat of an interesting feeling, or like a taste in your mouth. But doing the research, understanding who these Black men are, understanding how to develop these Black men in a well-rounded way to give their multi-technicolor perspective, I think is important. And to sort of break stereotypes, to be ourselves in our entire complexity, I think is absolutely important. So what I'm gathering from you is that as long as we go after what we want authentically, there'll always be people there to support, that we could partner with, that could potentially help our dreams come to life, even if they're not from the same cultural background as us.
Oh yeah.
They might be able to say, hey, look, this is something that seems pretty genuine. This is something that seems pretty authentic. Let me see if I can help this dream come to fruition. And I think that that's really important.
I got active about everything I had an issue in the industry, because I thought I could do it better. And if I didn't, then I would have stayed away. But like I got active about it. I was like, oh man, our stories are being either written by white people or directed by white people. So I got active about that. And I did and I found like the best director, and I found the best co-writers to get down with me. I found, you know, I got active about like there weren't enough of us in behind scenes in the sets. You know, I got active about finding the best Black grips and the best Black ADs and second ADs and all those things. I got active about finding these brothers and sisters who are phenomenal, who need, you know, and we put together this project instead of just sitting around bitching about it. You know, like I'm like, I can complain about it, but like that doesn't do anything for me after a while. You know, it doesn't do anything for any of us. But get active, man. Get active and hold yourself accountable about the product. It's fine that your first idea is usually not the best. You know, like it's usually not, even though you think it is. You know, so like You know, there are times to humble ourselves, and there's times to talk our shit and keep, well, you know, and be unwavering in it. But like, surround yourself by people that you trust, so that then you can keep that bubble small, like the criticisms and the actual things that you look at objectively, and the things that you know, push out.
Definitely. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate those
Yeah.
words from one artist to another, and from one creative to another. Definitely, it's important. I got Top Dog Underdog coming up next year.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
Amazing. Let me
Yeah,
know. Hit me on IG, bro. Let me know where that's at.
I got you. I'm at Roundhouse
Please.
here in DC.
Oh, at Roundhouse. I would love to come. I love Top Dog, bro. I would love to come check that out.
Yeah, I'll be boothing that one. So
Yeah,
I'm
let me know, bro. I'm 100% with it. I will come support.
Word. That's what's up. All love. I appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. I appreciate this. It's a beautiful platform, and it's dope what y'all are doing. So keep doing what you're doing. It's the good work, you know, having tough conversations and hold each other accountable. You know, that's what we got to do so that we get better. Like you said, like I know you went through a mental health struggle. No, I'm going through a mental health struggle. You know, we're going like, you know, it's all just growth points, you know. So yeah, I'm praying for all of us just to keep striving and get active, man. Prayer only works when you get active.
Great information, man. You enjoying yourself on Black Men Sundays, brother?
I loved it, man. I wish I could sit, man. I gotta go do a damn show. I wish I could sit here and talk with y'all, bro. I would love to sit here and talk with y'all for an hour. I gotta go do my show.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah.
you on tour, right? You on tour during the Tina Turner musical, right? From Broadway.
Yes,
you on
sir.
tour? Where
Yeah,
you
I
at?
will be.
Where are you
I'm
right
in
now?
San Jose right now.
Wow. Black
Yeah, I'll be in
excellence.
Portland tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah,
This
brother.
this man from Cleveland to Harlem on
Yes,
Broadway,
sir.
bro. Hey, many blessings.
I
You know
appreciate
what I'm
y'all.
saying? I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on Black Men Sundays, talking that real shit, that real talk. I'm gonna put the E on this one. I don't even care, but I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you spending some time. I mean, you on tour, you in Cali, bro. It ain't even quite noon yet. It's about to be
No,
noon in
I'm about
5
to be on
minutes.
stage in 5 minutes.
Hey, brother, we appreciate you. You could have
Appreciate
been,
you, dog.
you know, we tell everybody you could have been anywhere in the world, and bro, you out here.
Hey, man.
Black man said, this man about to hit the stage right now.
Bro,
Hey, I appreciate
truly.
you pulling up, talking to Black men, man. Yo, enjoy the
course.
rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'm gonna be checking you out, brother.
Yeah, bro, hit me up. I appreciate y'all. And let me
All
know
right, for
about
sure.
Top Dog, dog.
All right, bro.
Peace, y'all. Later.
It's a Black Man Sunday.